What if you could turn some blocks and items into floating displays in your forever world, without any collision? Well, say hello to the Display Stuff add-on by Blockception, because even your sword that killed the Ender Dragon deserves to be put on display. But does this add-on deserve to be shown off, or should it be hidden away? So the Display Stuff add-on comes in at 490 mine tokens, and on the PS5 Pro it also comes in at 2 megabytes in size. So if you're concerned about storage, there you go. And when you load into a brand new world, like I did here in this creative flat world, you are given the Display Stuff guidebook, which opens immediately in your inventory. You can't really see it in third person and you can't place it down. So just bear in mind that it will open straight away. And it says the guidebook contains crafting recipes and information about all the different displays. Just jump to close the guidebook, like so. And then we can open it again. If you lose the book, it's 1 smooth stone and 1 iron ingot apparently to recraft it. And there is also an item rotate tool which can be used to change the direction items are facing. Not all types of displays support item rotations, so you have to check each page to find out. The crafting recipe for the item rotation is 4 iron ingots and 1 feather. Now just bear in mind, the item is being rotated, not the display stand or the display case. The actual item that is on display inside of it or on it is what gets rotated. On the next page, we're shown a few of the item displays or stands that we're given. So we get a helmet stand, which can be used to showcase your most favorite helmet. Helmets cannot be rotated on this display. There's a chest plate stand, which can be used for your chest plate, and they can't be rotated either. There's a legging stand for your leggings, they can't be rotated, and there's a boot stand for your boots, which also cannot be rotated. We then get an elytra stand to display your elytra. This will go on the wall, up high, potentially, and it can also not be rotated. And then we have a plate, which can be used for different types of food, ideal for kitchen decoration, and the item you place on this can be rotated. There is also a chopping board, which could go next to the plate for a kitchen decoration. The item can be rotated on this, and this is available in multiple different wood types as shown on page 10. We get an easel as well. This can be used for showcasing singular items and also comes in different wood types. No mention of it being rotatable, so I assume you can rotate the items here. Then you get a weapon rack. Now the weapon rack can be placed to hold any type of weapon or tool and is ideal to be placed on walls. These items that go in this cannot be rotated and is also available in different wood types. We get a weapon stand, which can be placed on the ground as an actual stand and is also for weapons or tools and can also be used in different wood types, but the item or tool cannot be rotated either. We also get a glass case. This is a 1 block sized item display case and is ideal for creating your own museum. This can be available in every different glass type, I believe. We get a glass table, which works as about a 1.5 block height item, also ideal for creating your own museum. The items in this cannot be displayed and is also available in different glass colors. We get a pillow, which is like a 1/2 block size. This is ideal for showing your favorite gems and, precious items like diamonds. And items cannot be rotated on this display. This is available in all of the different wall types. We get a pedestal, which can be ideal for showcasing stacks of items and is available in a ton of different stone types. There's a weapon stone, which can be used to showcase a single weapon or tool and is also available in a ton of different stone types. And then there are some restricted items, and it says some functional items will require you, as I struggle to speak today, will require you to sneak in order to place them on the ground. This includes the following: armor, bamboo, bone meal, bottle enchanting, bottles, brush, bundles, crops, eggs, empty maps, firework rockets, flint and steel, food, goat horns, kelp, projectiles, seeds, spyglass, tools, weapons, and writable books. You'll receive a pop-up reminding you to sneak. when you interact with these items. Now, a fair rule here is if the item can be used, like all of those items I just listed, then you have to sneak to place it in the display case or stand. There are also some excluded items, so not all items and blocks can be displayed. This includes the following, and as far as I'm aware, is not limited to the following: armor stands, arrows, item frames, non-empty buckets, paintings, potions, redstone dust, shields, spawn eggs, and string. They cannot be displayed. Interacting with some blocks also prevents placing items. So if you place an item in an item frame, you can't then place that in the display case. I don't really understand this bit. If you dye water in a cauldron, then it can't be placed. If you're placing books in a lectern or chiseled bookshelf, brushing suspicious blocks. Now, I don't know what this means, really. I'm guessing if it's been used, then you can't put it in a display case. But we might try and test some of these. We might not. I'm not sure. Because tying a lead on a fence, does that mean then that you can't place a lead in a display case if you wanted to? Not sure. I'm very confused by this one section. And then we're back to the beginning. So let's have a look at all of the different display stands and cases that we get in this add-on. So for all of the different display cases and display stands in this add-on, I feel quite confident in saying that they are blocks because there's no shadows around. When you punch them, they don't have health. They break like a normal block. And this is everything that we get in this add-on. So we'll start from this side and we get glass tables, which, like I said, a block and a half in size, more or less. It's got the block at the bottom and then the glass stand with a slight display lift there as well, available in all of the different colors there. We also get a pillowcase, which is again in different colors. I said pillowcase, but it's just a pillow. We also get the glass case. That's where I got the word case from. We get the glass case, again, available in different colors. And I've tried to group all of the colors so that we can just fly over them really quickly and see the different combinations that you can make. There is obviously the one missing one here for the just standard transparent glass, but all of the colors are represented here on the glass table, glass case, and pillow. So they're quite nice. We will look at using them in the experience section, but we'll go through everything else first. We then get the weapon stones, which are made from different stone blocks, and we get pedestals as well, which are made from some different ones too. I've grouped the ones that are like for like, with some only having one of one and not one of both, basically. But there they are, and it should be mentioned that a lot of the designs, they're copy and paste, right? There's no differences between stone and polished andesite. There's no difference between end stone and mossy cobblestone. The same way there's no differences between yellow and blue. Other than the color and material, there's no nuances. So just bear that in mind. It is a one design fits all, which I don't have a problem with, basically. I think that's all right, to be honest. We then get the individual armor pieces. So we've got the boot stand, we've got the legging stand, we've got the chest plate stand and the helmet stand, which can be used to show off one particular item of armor. And we get the elytra stand, which goes up on the wall here and has the elytra there too. Then over here, we end up with the weapon rack and the weapon stands, and these are available in all of the different wood styles. Now, the weapon racks hold 3 weapons and go on the wall. The weapon stands hold 4 weapons or tools and go on the floor. So there is some customization and variability on how you would use them, which is quite nice. And then we've got the easels and we've got the chopping boards, again in the same wood designs here. Some for food, some for just single items. And again, we will look at how they're used in the experience section. And then lastly, we get the plate, which can be placed down and then had food in them. So that's all of the different blocks that we get. So why don't we go straight into the experience section and let's see what it's like to actually use these things. And so funnily enough, to start the experience section, we're not going to look at the different display cases and stands that are added. I want to look at the item frames that we have here because there seems to be a slight change in functionality. First of all, for something that's enchanted. So this right here was the enchanted golden apple, right? Now, if I want to place this down as standard, it does go down, but it says interact while sneaking to place this item. Now, obviously, if I was to try to interact with it in general, I would eat it. So if I sneak and then place it down, we get this little animation of it falling into the item frame. And then the way it's enchanted with the kind of pop-up particles looks so much different to just the glowy glow of the enchanted apple there. And then when we punch it, that one pops out. When we punch this one, it actually stacked it, which is very, very weird. And what I want to do is I want to see, do they actually stick out? Because I didn't know that it stacked it. So let's go back into here and let's go for enchanted golden apples. We're going to grab 64 of those. And if I punch it, oh, I just punched the item frame. Okay, I don't know if that's a bug or not, but if you place an item in an item frame and then break the item frame, I'm now displaying the item as a stack. And it doesn't break when you break the block. Okay. And then if I have an empty hand and I punch it, I then take away from the stack. So we are actually able to use this with item frames to stack things freely as well. I'm sure somebody can come up with a use set of that. The same way here as well. I punch the item frame and the block stays stacked. This is new. I'm very confused because I didn't expect this. So I had placed, let's punch the diamond, right? We're going to grab the diamond again. Let's place this one down here. It gets placed like that. Now, if I can do this smart, punch the item frame. No. Come on, I did it without realizing that I did it. There we go. Punch the item frame without sneaking, and now my diamond is just placed without any item frame there. That's nice. Isn't that something that's normally in Java? And then if I punch it now with the diamond in my hand, it will begin to stack. So let's go back into survival. I've got 64 enchanted golden apples, so place one down. No, do that wrong. Sneak and place that down. We have that there. Then punch it while holding the item, and they stack up. Then go with an empty hand and just punch the item frame. No. Punch the block. No. How did that do it before? Ah, there you go. So punch the item frame like a block, let it disintegrate, and now my golden enchanted apples are just stacked and I have the ability to add to it. If that's a bug, don't change that. That's awesome. I like that. The possibilities are absolutely endless there. But that was a shock, not what I was expecting to do. So we'll leave those there. Let's start over here with the glass table then, shall we? Now, can I place down an enchanted golden apple? I can. And it places down, we get the popping particles here. Now, can I add to that? No, you cannot place any more items on this display. So we're not able to stack here. We can just place. Do I have the item rotate tool? Can we rotate? I can't remember what the book said. You cannot rotate items on this display. Okay, cool. So that's how the items will place there. So let's try it. What about a zombie head? Why not? What about a sword? What about a random block that doesn't matter? A bit of golden ingot? What about a flower? Let's try a few of these. So zombie head. No, can't place that down. That doesn't go inside. That's fine. There's no space there, really. What about a sword? You can place a sword down. It gets smaller. And then it goes like so, and you can't rotate it, so it's stuck like that. Okay. What about bamboo stairs? I mean, maybe you want to show off bamboo stairs. No, you can't place that. You just place it down on the side like an item would. Fair dues. Okay. Golden ingot does go in there. Okay. And lily of the valley? No. You can't place flowers down either. So there is only a select few styles of items that can go in there. But then why would you want to show off certain things as well? So I get that. There's not a ton of space here for a head or anything like that. So I get that. What about a block of gold? No. Okay, so for the glass table, we're limited on what we can use. Now for the pillow, gold ingot. Can place a gold ingot down. Can't rotate it. Can't stack it. Okay. Lily of the valley? No. You can't put down any pressed flowers. Bamboo stairs? Nope, can't do that either. I'm going to keep breaking these, aren't I? Alright, so we're very limited there. A zombie head? No, it just places down on the top like it would do normally. Enchanted golden apple? Right, that can go on there. We need a diamond, don't we? Let me go over here. Grab the diamond. Thank you very much. Can I have, whoops, can I have my diamond back? Thank you very much. So we can put gold ingots, we can put enchanted apples, diamonds, yeah. And just place down an item on the floor. I didn't actually expect that to be able to happen. You can just place items down in general, you don't even need the item frame. Okay, I'm learning here, this is weird. But alright, so that's how those work. Now this one, the glass case, can I place in a gold ingot? I can. Can I rotate it? I can. So that's what the item rotate tool does. If you wanted that. Can I stack? I can. So you can stack the items up here and you can just show how rich you are. With a stack. That's awesome. What about a lily of the valley? No, no preserving flowers. Diamond. You can, but it goes 2D, which is a shame. I would have liked that to be like rotating. But okay. Can I put a head in there? No, you can't put a head in there. What about if I'm creeping? Crouching. Nope, can't do it. You just can't do it. Enchanted golden apple, yes. And they can stack as well, right? And we get that enchantment popping off as well. Which is quite nice. Okay. There's a few limitations. I'm not going to sit here and say there isn't. But all in all, I think this opens up some possibilities. We've got the sword, which can then be turned. Again, I would have liked that standing. Use some of that vertical space, you know? Can I stack 2 swords? No, you can't stack 2 swords. And if you crouch and do it, it doesn't do anything there either. Okay, fair enough. Give me back that sword. But there's some usage of that too. Now then, what about the weapon stand? Obviously, the sword's going to go in there. Get some King Arthur out here, some Merlin. And then how do you pull it out? Just punch it? Yeah, just punch it. And place that down. Can you do other ones? What about a pickaxe? You can, and it just sits there like so. I can't... Oh, you can! So the rotate, what's that doing? It's slightly moving it 1 block to the side. Oh, it's flipping it back and forth. Okay, flipping that back and forth, that makes sense. And this is only for weapons and tools, right? Yeah. So what other tools are there that we could test this with? Let's try and find... Obviously, I've got shovels. What about... Let's try a mace. Let's try a trident. Can we put a bow in there, maybe? What about a fishing rod as well? Let's try a fishing rod. You don't try, you don't ask. You know what I'm saying? So, let's go for a mace. A mace can be placed down. Trident. And they're always placed down with the sharp or weapon end face down, it seems. Fishing rod. What does that count as? No, this cannot be placed here. Okay, fishing rod can't. Bow? Nope. Lily of the Valley. Or as I like to say, Lily of the Valley. Sorry, I just like saying it. Okay, so those were the stand for the weapons then. As you can see, a lot of the weapons are able to be placed in. Not a lot of the items though. Or tools even. What about flint and steel? It would help if I grabbed the flint and steel, wouldn't it? Let me grab that. Can you put a flint and steel on here? Probably have to crouch. No. And then no. Okay. So again, limited on what you can do, but it's a weapon stand. It's a weapon stone. So I'd expect it to just put weapons, I guess. So for the pedestal then, what about gold ingot? Yeah. Can you rotate? Yes, you can rotate. It's weird. Sometimes it's interact, sometimes it's punch, I feel. This one is punch. Can I stack? You can. You can punch it to stack more on there. Awesome. Can I put a Lily of the Valley? No. I put a bow. No. Oh. Interact with a bow. You can, and it goes 2D. Okay. So it's the same again for a sword. Interact. Sword. Yes. So you can have the sword there as well. Alright. Flint and steel. Oh. Sneak. Place that down, and then it becomes 2D again. Okay. Bamboo stairs. Nope, stair blocks just get placed. So what about block of gold? Does it get smaller? No, block of gold just sits on it like a normal block would. Okay. And then we'll put the enchanted apple on there as well, because why not? There we go. And we've got, again, those particles popping. So there's functionality here. I think you had like some trial and error, but I really like the stacking ability. And I really like just the ability to place down items on the floor. I think that's really good. Whether or not it's intended, I don't know. So then we've got the armor stands. Not really much you can do here other than just put them on and take them off. And that's for all of those. Same for the elytra here. Just put them on, take them off. But the fun for me really comes in with the weapon racks. Now this one here is what would go on a wall, and you can place them down and they leave your inventory. You can mix the items that you place. You can't rotate, so you can't have them facing right to left instead of left to right, which is a shame. And if you want to pick a specific one, like say I wanted that sword, you point at the specific one you want and you can pick it up. So it's not cycled. It's not 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. You can literally pick whichever one you want, which I think is cool. And then obviously you'd put them up one block higher so that you could show them off a little bit better. Like so. I'm going to place this on here. And then we'll go sword there. But I want the hoe at the bottom. So we're going to click here, which I know you can do, right? Come on. Yes, you can. There we go. A little bit of jankiness on where you hit for it, but that's more probably me than the add-on. But there we go. And then just show them off how you want them there. And I'm going to need those back, please, game, because I have more to show off. So then for the stands, we can then put the sword. We can then put a hoe. I want in this side here. So again, you can choose which slot you want them in. And again, unfortunately, you can't switch them so that they're going top down instead of down to top. So just bear that in mind. But yeah, you can mix and match. You can have them as one. You can have them as multiple. You can specifically choose which slot you want to touch. Doesn't have to be. Oh, that was a bit of a... Wait. Let me make sure that I'm on the hoe. Hang on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so a little bit of jankiness there in terms of how you pick. But it is a small area, I guess. I think this is so cool, though. But that's the weapon stand. Then for the easels... So if you want to place an item down, they go like this. And you can rotate them. No, you can't rotate them. Okay, the book, I'm sure, didn't say that. But there you go. Get the apple. Can you stack? No, you can't place more than one. Lily of the Valley? No, so you can't place flowers down. Okay. Got a cake. Got cake. We got shears. I've got apples. Fishing rods. Just going to try loads of stuff. Fishing rod can go down. Apple can go down. Cake can't go down. Shears can go down. There's some good functionality here, man. It's not perfect. It doesn't cover everything at all. Like, see, you can't place down a dragon head. Can't place down a wither skull. But you can place down a lot of stuff. Okay. I wonder if the turtle shell can go on the skeleton stand, actually. Let's try that. Excuse me. Go over here. Let's put that down. Yeah, it can. There we go. Little army helmet. Nice. And then, so then lastly, or almost lastly, we've got the chopping boards, which are mostly for food. Can you stack? You can. So if you want to have 1,000,000 apples on one chopping board, there you go. You can. Can I put gold on here? You can put gold on a chopping board. Who's cutting their gold? That's crazy. Who's cutting their gold? Enchanted apples? Yeah. There we go. Can I put a helmet on it? You can as well. So it's not just for food. You can put tons of stuff on here. All right, fair dues. And then lastly then, for the plate, we can put one apple, or you can stack tons of apples on a plate as well. There we go. So that is how you use all of the display stands and display cases. There's one more thing I want to check. With them being all very vanilla, I want to apply a texture pack, and I want to see if the textures are hard-coded into the add-on, or if they're pulling from the textures of the game, so if they can be used with texture packs. So let me just check that now. So obviously you're never going to be able to guess which texture pack I chose, so let me put you out of your misery. Obviously I chose Kingdoms, my favorite texture pack. It's starting to become a bit of a running joke now at this point, but still it is my favorite texture pack. And with Kingdoms, does the textures? No, the textures are hard-coded in, it seems. Because these are still the vanilla textures. Oh, that's scary. Okay, these are the vanilla textures in here, and they're not pulling from the texture pack. And we can see that. I mean, you can see it anyway, but let's put one side to side. So in creative, let's go to mossy cobblestone, mossy, thank you. And we can just grab the stone block, mossy cobblestone, bang, that's mossy stone actually. Let's do it properly. Mossy infested stone, mossy cobblestone, there we go. Mossy cobblestone, like so. So if you are using a texture pack, just beware, these blocks will have the vanilla textures. They are not hard coded in, although that elytra looks awesome. That elytra looks really, really awesome. I do like that. That looks so cool. But yeah, all in all, I do like this this add-on, sorry. At 490 mine tokens, it's not the most expensive. It's on that favorite price of mine. I was very pleasantly surprised by just this ability to be able to place down items anywhere as well, which I wasn't expecting, and learned that in the video. So I think that adds a lot of ability when we are decorating our houses and stuff. So I think I would put this in my forever world right now, looking out for any updates in the future. Hopefully, if that placing items thing is a bug, hopefully that never gets fixed. But yeah, it doesn't matter what I think really. You guys have now seen inside the add-on, so let me know, what do you guys think about this add-on? What do you think about the price? What do you think about the usage? And did I miss anything important that should be checked next time? Let me know down in the comments. Please do leave a like on the video if you enjoyed this, and if you're new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button as well. We're on the road to 7,000 subscribers, and I can't get there without you, so thank you very much for the support. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!